This week's episode is brought to you by Tabletop Backer Party on Facebook, which is the largest board game crowdfunding group on this side of the internet.
Featured this week, we have Merchants of the Dark Road by Elf Creek Games that calls upon 1 to 4 traveling shopkeepers to deliver their goods and make them sweet coins. As players will be using dice placement to control their wagons full of wares, crossing the city to complete tasks, taking actions, and manipulating that market for 60 to 120 minutes in this dice placement game that reminds you that the road may be dark and treacherous, but fame and those Lumi coins are where it's at.
Hello, fellow gamers. Welcome to I'd Back That Kickstarter with Gloryhoundd and
Dr. Gloryhoundd.
It's good to see all of you here. Let's see here. It looks like we have Fatal Paper Cut in chat and Petter and Battle Cry. We also have Luke in chat. Hello, Robin. How are you doing? Nemesis and Merchants, maybe, as far as what we're backing. I know somebody said they're backing all the board games.
That's an admirable goal. That is a life goal to have.
I'm down with that. I need to be backing all the board games. That is my #1 goal, but Dr. Gloryhoundd stops me from backing all of the board games all the time. You do. Why you gotta be so mean, Dr. Gloryhoundd?
I was just talking to you today about you buying some dice off the internet, and I was like, why don't they just send them to you? And like, why don't you have like a monthly subscription set up? And you're like, oh, I don't like all the dice, dude. I'm looking at like 40 pairs of dice over here on the wall.
Wow.
Like, and you're like, oh, this one's purple with sparkles in it, not pink with sparkles, or blue with sparkles, or white with sparkles, or green with sparkles.
It's different. It's different. Those dice were different. They had stars in them and sparkles, and they were purple. So
instead of just stars. Or just sparkles.
Yeah, and they were different types of stars, okay? They weren't a regular star. They were like the 4-pointed star that was like, whoop. So cute. So cute. Oh my gosh.
Yikes. Dice are important. That is true. But I usually needed like a pair or two.
Robin says,
like some people.
Which makes me want to buy the iron clays, even if those coins are pretty. Oh yeah, because we're talking about those sweet, sweet coins and merchants, I believe.
Oh yeah, the merchant coins are really, yeah, they're pretty nice looking.
Ooh, they look so good. I am a sucker for coin add-ons, because there's something whenever you're playing a game and you have like actual coins that you're using, there's like a whole different like tactile feel to it all. It feels so nice.
Right. Well, it's like the difference between a standee versus a miniature, or when you've got like little wood cubes versus like cut out wood. You know, like it all just adds to the overall experience, right?
Hello, Daniel at Tabletop Backer Party. I had this loaded for some reason, muted. Well, don't mute yourself. I didn't mute you.
Yeah, she definitely got a haircut.
I did. Look at it. It's all angular and fantastic. Also thinking about possibly changing colors. I don't know if you guys can see it here, but I have purple starting up here. I don't know. We're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens, everyone. It's gonna change. It's gonna change. I think. If I don't like it, I'll change it back. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Dr. Gloryhoundd, do we have anything to talk about before we get started?
We're going to be doing our fireside chat today at 6 on Facebook Live, just to kind of chit chat. We actually got in three games yesterday. Yeah,
I think so.
three.
Yeah,
we
three
got in
games.
3 games yesterday. They came in at like 8 o'clock last night, so I'm kind of excited to talk about those.
So we're going to like review those, take questions from our audience, just hang out for a little bit, like reveal what we're going to be doing this month. So exciting. So exciting. Talk about what our favorite game ever is. I can't tell you that, Luke. I can't tell you until the fireside chat.
That is like such a hard question too, because I mean, I was updating some of our board games on Board Game Geek, and I think we're at 400, and I still like have a whole nother shelf to do. So it's really hard to like pinpoint like that one game that you'd play over and over and over again.
We are though updating that for you guys, so you guys can take a look at our collection and what we end up playing the majority of. And we also have a board game app tracker that we use.
That's on my account.
Yeah, that we show all of our board game plays as far as like whenever I'm playing with Dr. Gloryhoundd.
Yeah, they don't capture the ones if you're playing like at a convention and I'm not there, or you're playing at like another person's house, or I don't always capture ones that I just play with like just me and the kid all the time.
You capture mostly the ones you win. Is that
just
what I'm hearing? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, I only capture the ones that I'm actually playing because I'm self-centered like that. I'm glory hog.
Oh my god.
Not glory sharing with all the people.
All right, first up we have Barbarian Battlegrounds, Tales of Barbaria. This is for 2 to 6 players. It should last about 45 minutes. This is by Greenbrier Games. This is going to be a dice placement game that not only has a little bit of combat in it, but also like area or territory control on this. You also have special cards you can use and resource management. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like this game has it all. They went from this, Daniel says, I played this. It's so good. I know, right, Daniel? Spoilers. Hold on, spoilers. I'm going to talk about the story between playing the original Barbarian's Battleground and then this one, because this one, they upped to like a whole new fantastic level. So, Dr. Gloryhoundd, what were your first impressions on this game?
So, like you said, we played the first one, right? And I've played the first one a couple times. I've taken it to work and played it at lunch. I played it with a kid. I played it with you. I played it at 2-player. I played it at 3-player. I played it at 4-player. I played it a couple different player counts, and I enjoyed the first one, but it was what I would consider like an entry-level. I know
It's a family game.
It's entry-level and a dice placement game.
Yeah.
So that's how I used to always kind of categorize it. But then obviously they added new things to this.
You'd teach like non-gamers, you'd teach kids this game. That was like the start of like dice placement, and it was cute.
Yeah, or just like a quick, 30-minute or less game that you could play at lunch or something like that. Yeah. So it was definitely, I really enjoyed it. And then they added a lot more with this campaign.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this campaign. And, Daniel says it best, like, y'all are sleeping on this really, really good dice placement game here. So what they've changed is basically you roll the dice, and then you go ahead and use these dice, and you place them behind your screen here. Mm-hmm. And you can only double place dice if they have the same number of pips on them. So, 2 5s you can put on top of each other and then allocate towards that thing. But what they did here with this adventure line here, where you have adventures in the middle that you're basically bidding for the season, is so fantastic. And it's so fantastic paired with the fact that you can attack other people's villages, because you have to make a conscious choice of where you're allocating your resources. Are you trying to get...
It made it the decisions became much more meaningful, because before, like, the way to win was just to get glory, and you'd get that by attacking other players. So a lot of times some of the games would stall out if you're like, I attack you, the next round you roll good, you attack me, and then our glory is just getting passed back and forth, and neither one of us wins.
Right.
With this, there's a set number of rounds, which I really like, so you know exactly how long the game is going to last. And you have to decide, do I want to use these dice to attack? Do I want to use these dice to defend? Do I want to go on an adventure? Do I want to gather resources? Because there's 3 different resources spots you can gather, and those are all the different things you can do behind your screen.
It's crazy, because if you gather the resources, you're allocating those resources towards getting cards that give you special abilities to use during the game, or just getting more dice on the board and hiring mercenaries and stuff.
Or getting things that are going to give you actually like specialists that are going to give you more resources. So it's like, the first version of the game, I felt like you could just go heavy on the specialists. They'd gain you a bunch of resources, and then you could just put all your dice into attack.
Like, there was like a step-by-step process in the first game.
Yeah, I definitely figured out how to win in the first game. I think I went undefeated out of like 9 games on that, playing the first version of the game, because there was such a set process of how to win.
This one, there's no super great way to win. Like, you really have to manage what you're doing, because I went for trying to get all of my dice first.
Yeah, can you explain what happened when we played this game last time? Can you please explain?
All right, everyone. You know I hate dice games, first off, okay? Dice placement games I'm better at. I like dice placement, okay? But I'm not always happy because I don't roll well. And I feel like with games that you have to roll 6s in order to win, like, I feel like that's an unfair sort of thing. But they kind of mitigated this. So in the beginning of this, I was like, oh my God, I'm so going to fail at this game. This is so messed up. Like, I'm so angry because I can't roll high. And then all of a sudden, cards started coming out where it's like, lowest player, whoever got the lowest pips on a dice. Right, the adventures
were going to either be lower,
or
lowest,
higher.
And that becomes a whole little area control aspect in the middle.
Right, and you can use multiple dice on one card, or you can split them between different cards. And the choices became so much more. Because I went into this game thinking, oh man, okay, like, there's going to be a for sure way to control the beginning, this area control portion of the board here, and there was not, and it was fantastic.
You were at the point of, I was doing very well in the early game.
I was so mad.
And you were at the point of just wanting to straight up quit, because you were like, this is dumb, I can't roll anything, this is BS. And fast forward to the end, and the score was 11-6. You beat me.
I did.
You almost doubled my score.
With crazy, crazy tactics.
Just all by controlling that middle board. So it does become like my traditional strategy of getting a bunch of resources, unlocking all my dice first, and then just going on attacks with all my extra dice did not work in this one.
No.
Because you had to be in that adventures too.
And I was able to get you on several different attacks because you are trying to figure out how to place those dice to get them in the middle and go on the adventures and get glory for the adventures.
Because I kept putting my double dice into the adventures instead of into like attacks or resources.
I was like slowly chipping away at you by also like marginally like attacking your village here and there.
Right, by getting a glory here or there.
Right. So I was able to actually at the end win and come out with a decent win with this, where in the beginning I was like, oh no, this is going to be terrible. Like I'm going to do just terrible at this because of my dice rolls. Because that's what I thought. I thought that my dice rolls are going to influence how this game works, and I was 100% wrong. This game has a lot of strategy going on for it for such a cute little game. This game is adorable. Like really, everything's so cute in this game.
So overall, the production quality is still good, but they really upped that with having that adventure in the middle. Makes a big difference. I feel like you really are stretched. Because before it was like, do I want resources or do I want to attack for glory, which is end game points? And now it's like, well, do I want resources? Do I want to try to go for some attacking for some glory, which you can't just win outright by glory. You have to, it's your glory's total at the end. But before, if you got enough players, other players' glory, you could win that way.
And it's broken up into
the adventures.
Into the 4 seasons. So those adventures last for 3 rounds. And while you're on those adventures, you're trying to get your flags on there and control it. So you have a little bit of time, but it's not like you have all game to do that, you know? So Fatal says she's one of those players that says, oh, I'm playing so poorly the whole time while whooping everyone.
We were playing, when we were playing Court of the Dead, she kept on doing that with the kid. The kid was like, oh, I got to take 4 souls from somebody. She was like, oh, don't take it from me. I'll be so sad. And then she had like 20-something souls behind her screen. And I'm like, I have 10. I don't.
So
Unfair.
Daniel says, a good way to put it is that there are too many locations to cover everything, which allows for asymmetry and different paths to victory. 100%. I was insanely surprised by the strategic depth of this game because per the look of the game, you're like, oh, this is so cute. This is just going to be a family weight game. And I would actually call this above family weight, where you're branching into a lot more tactical portion. Like this opens people up to, like, you start by playing Barbarian Battlegrounds and you start them off with this little dice placement. You go, okay, now I got a new game for you.
I think that with the adventures in the middle just does add area control that didn't really exist before. And and that makes a big difference. You get a lot of points off of that.
It was really interesting trying to see how to allocate your dice, especially when you roll doubles, because you want to allocate those doubles towards something to get a push.
You're right.
But you can also use some really strong dice onto other things like that push and pull. I don't know.
Yeah, you definitely don't have enough dice to cover all the different things you want to do, which makes a good game. You have to make choices. There's always going to be a positive and negative, and you have to decide what you're willing to give up in order to get something else.
Daniel says it scales well with experienced gamers and still places in that family.
Yeah, I would agree. It's still a family game to me because it's very easy to understand what's going on. The real depth comes in who you're playing against and when you're playing for that middle spot.
Because if you're playing with a bunch of non-gamers and this is something that you're showing off to a bunch of people, your game is going to play completely different from that high strategic level gamer, but you're going to be able to play a really great game at both levels. And everyone, that's like one of the key components of just a really fantastic game overall. Is a game that you can play with anyone and still enjoy, you know, as a gamer, as a non-gamer, as a kid, as, I mean, somebody totally coming into the hobby new, like that, and I'm sad that this isn't funded yet. I think they're at 7,000 out of 15.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this has not been funded yet, everyone. I'm super sad about this. I know that there was some other gameplay and footage that is coming.
Oh,
like
7 out of 20.
We're going to be playing this game live.
Yeah, we're going to play it this Thursday because we got a copy from Gamma, right?
Yeah, I went to Gamma and we talked to Julie, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to cover this. Like, Julie makes amazing stuff. Like, they make really great stuff. I'm really excited about this. As a bear.
Yeah, are you going to play it as a bear?
You know what?
Do you have a bear costume?
I don't have a bear costume, but I think we should come up. Here's my thing. So, like, these little bears look like Care Bears, but they're Barbarian Care Bears. So I want to come up with, like, a Care Bear name that also works as, like, a Barbarian name for this. You know? Like, I don't know. What would be a good Care Bear name that's also Barbarian name?
I don't know the Care Bear names, honestly. Isn't there Sleepy Bear?
I don't know. Like Fluffy.
Sneezy, Doc, are those all the bear names?
Fluffy
Or
Butt
those
the
gnomes?
Pillager or something like that. No.
No, not Fluffy Butt the Pillager. I am sorry. Yeah, kind of like an Ewok, right? Like, they're very, very
Yes.
cute, but then they also want to stab you right in your
They're
AT-AT.
also going to poke you with their sharp spears and it's going to hurt.
Or your AT-AT for people that are less evolved. That's the next controversy we're going to
my
start up.
gosh.
AT-AT versus AT-AT.
Oh, Daniel says there's a zombie bear and it is the best. I'm excited. Okay, so
Yeah, because there's a candy expansion too, which I haven't gotten to play the candy expansion yet, but that adds a whole nother set of things to it.
and there's this part right here which we actually didn't get to see. You get hero cards and dice especially for these heroes, and I'm
Okay.
excited to know more about this.
Okay, yeah,
I
got
want
it.
to know more about this stuff because it seems really, really exciting. If you can do special stuff whenever that dice hits a star and everything like that, and not only do you have, because then it makes each tribe completely unique or as you're playing it, because of your hero. And I
Right.
think that is awesome. Like, I can't tell you how excited I am for this. And this starts at $40. $40. And you're getting a ton of dice because this is, what was it, 6 players? Let me take a look here. 2 to 6 players.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're getting 6
And you get
sets.
5 dice per, plus there's some extra dice. Like there's
Yeah.
like 6 mercenary dice, and
This, and I'm highlighting that this is an incredibly reasonably priced campaign because there's another campaign we're going to talk about that is the same price, and I'm just like, how does that work?
Oh, pricing wise?
Yes, pricing wise. Because this is $40.
I don't
and
think about price. Money is immaterial to me.
You're getting a 6-player experience with all these dice and everything, and several boards and all sorts of stuff. So I feel like it's a really great price game. All right, that's my huge, like, you all should be backing this game. What the heck is happening? Because I'm excited. I'm sorry.
Honestly, I'll say I didn't even think about it. I just assumed it was already funded.
You already assumed it was
Yeah.
funded, yeah.
There was another game we covered a while back that I just assumed that too. I was surprised that it wasn't.
And you're like, what's
Yeah.
happening right now?
Sometimes there's ones where and I can't really put a finger on it. I don't know why this one wouldn't have been funded by now.
Well, I'm wondering if people are looking at the regular Barbarians Battleground and going, oh, okay, this family weight, or oh, I already have this, or what all did they change?
I
And
could
that they're
see
passing
that.
this up because of that,
But I mean, between the two, I would play this one over the other one every time.
I would too. And this one is, although it has a lot of the same, not even a lot of the same stuff going on. It has some of the same aesthetics,
and
like to the
mechanics.
mat and mechanics to the mat, but it is a completely different game in the way that you
Yeah.
have to play it. Because
It's version 1.5.
no, it's like
It's an
version
upgraded-
4.0 or something. It's
Whoa.
a big upgrade. It's not
No,
a
it's
little
definitely-
upgrade.
Okay. I was just saying it's an upgraded version.
It is an upgraded version.
Numbers matter.
And I'm really excited to see how this candy expansion works. The candy horde, like, I want to know more about this candy horde. I feel like a family weight can be a tricky on Kickstarter. Sometimes family weight games, they do like astronomically well because they're like, I don't know.
I think that the average person on Kickstarter,
then
though,
not
although they might
well.
have a family, they're not looking for family weight games on there.
Maybe.
I feel like family weight games are the ones you typically pick up while you're at the game store, right? Or you would do it as an add-on to reach your $100 to get your free shipping or something. You know what I'm saying? Or you'd get it for those holidays.
I feel like this one, though, is definitely above that, like something you would find in Target. You're going to go more towards like the Catan sort of stuff. If you're
Right. I
looking
can see
for
the selling well on
Catan-
a Target though because of because of how it looks.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because this is adorable.
But it's not like a mass market game though.
Do you think that the adorableness of it is part of it too for gamers in general? Okay, so chat, do you feel like if a game is extra cute that may sway you from not backing it because like you're not taking it seriously enough maybe?
That might be something because Cinder had a hard time at first.
Cinder
it
did
was,
have a hard time and it
because
was
it was
cute.
a cute kind of like dragon dating game. And
Yeah.
then let's see, I was just thinking of another
And
game too.
Cinder's
Oh,
good.
Tiny Epic Dinos. People were like a little bit
Yeah.
off on the art of that because it was like a Pokemon-esque style kind of like kidsy, cartoony art for the dinosaurs instead of like being like ferocious dinosaurs.
Same with like a Tiny Epic Tactics, was it?
I don't
where
remember.
there
That
was-
one did well though, I thought.
It did well, but there were some people that were commenting specifically on their art being too cutesy for like a tactical sort of miniature style
Okay.
game, which is what they were going for, but they were using their traditional like you know, tiny epic art.
I think, well, I mean, yeah, art is always a big thing of it. I like the art of this one personally.
I do too.
I like the idea of these bears that are just like these little warriors running at each other. It does kind of remind me of Ewoks.
And they're also going to hurt you, and I love that.
Maybe if they actually took these and they made them into porgs instead, and they were just like, and just running at each other, that would be better.
Look
what
at
would you think?
it.
Would you play this if this had Star Wars theming?
Cute. They're so cute.
They could probably casually get a Star Wars theme on this, right? That's not a big deal.
It's casual Star Wars theme over top of it.
Yeah, see, I think people, like Kiefer said, like you kind of look at it at first and skim past it, and I can understand that. I mean, I was lucky to play the original with Julie at Dice Tower West, and then we got this new updated version at Gamma. Otherwise, I probably would have just skipped by it maybe at a store, or like I said, I would have maybe picked it up while picking up other things.
Thinking that it was too light versus
But it's not a game that I'm thinking like, oh, I'm going to go to the game store and pick this up, right? Because, you know, usually these family weight games are ones that you typically pick up while you're kind of out and about.
Yeah.
Like Tattoo Stories is something that I picked up while I was like at a Target or something. Like it wasn't like I didn't go to Target for it. I didn't go to a game store for Tattoo Stories.
My thing is though is that this is like not a Tattoo Story weight game. Like this is that one above.
Right. Yeah.
I feel like it. Although you can play it at family weight, it is one above where you get enough tactical reasoning and strategic gameplay out of it that it is a step above all those.
People at backer parties saying they feel like it's more of a cost analysis situation where people don't feel like they're getting the value out of getting this one. But maybe that comparison, like you were saying, would make a big difference, because sometimes there's games I bought for $40, they're just cards. And you're like, huh, this is just cards. This is pretty cheap to make this versus dice, tokens.
100% what I'm saying about this particular one.
This isn't like a fold out. I mean, this is a cardboard mat and everything else. It's not like you're using like paper.
No, you're getting, so you're getting 6 sets of dice. And then you're also getting your game boards, which are cardboard, which are very long game boards.
Right.
And then
and there's 2 of them.
Screens and stuff are a little bit, and this was prototype, so I'm not 100% sure how the screens are going to come out. They were thinner, but like they were still full color art. They had instructions on the inside of it. Like everything else looked fantastic. It wasn't so thin that you feel like anything's going to bend or break or anything. But
right, like this box had a lot more in it than the other one did for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. With all your tokens and everything, I thought it was really great price. And like I said, there's another game that we're going to talk about a little bit later in the stream, or actually we're going to talk about next, that I was like, wait a second.
Do it.
These 2 games are the same price? What the heck right now?
Do it. Talk about it.
Let's do it.
Talk about it.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Oh, this one's $40 too, huh?
Yeah, this one is $40 as well. And we're going to go over this one. Huh. You know what, Dr. Gloryhoundd, would you back Barbarian, The Tales of Barbaria?
Yeah, I would bag it. Now, we actually have a copy of the old one and the prototype of the new one. So realistically, I don't see myself throwing $40 down on it right now. I want to back
this game.
But yeah, I was going to say, you probably do. I want
to back this game because I want all the upgrades for the Kickstarter and stuff.
I can definitely see that.
I want all the stuff for this game, everyone. All the stuff. Let's see. I feel like it can be hard to appreciate the value of a game without getting your hands on it.
The good thing is, like I said, we will be playing it this Thursday. So you can actually see it live, and you can see me lose horribly to her barbarians.
Yeah, you guys are going to see this on Thursday live, and whenever we play it, and you'll get to see how much is included in that box, and the art will show you everything up close and stuff like that. And keep in mind, we do have prototype pieces to it, so I don't think like the dice match the colors and stuff that they're going to have. I mean, they might have the right colors in there, but they're not matching dice
we'll go over that, but yeah.
It's really great. I was really happy with it. Sorry, I know, I just kicked everything.
Was that you just kicking everything?
I just totally kicked everything.
That was a dog. So this is also a $40 game, and this is just like a couple tiles, right?
So this is the Whatnot cabinet. This is by Pencil First Games. Okay. It's for 1 to 4 players. It should last about, 20 minutes.
So less time than Barbarians.
This is a puzzle style game. Okay. And I really think that the choosing which action you're going to do, let me go down to the board so I can kind of show you before I start explaining.
Do you want me to do like my first takes on this?
Do you want to do your first takes before I explain how it plays?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So you're going to be choosing your actions, and whenever you choose your action, if you choose a really strong action to do, where you get to pick from tiles that are kind of out and everything, then in the next turn, you're going to go in not necessarily last place, but you're going to go in a lower place, whereas if you pick a not strong action, then you're going to be going in first place on the next round. So that's kind of varies how your actions are going, but it is basically a puzzle style game where you're trying to collect these tiles and you're trying to place them in a way that not only are you going to get card bonuses on cards, but also you're going to get bonuses for rows and columns based off of colors and variances in colors
Well, it's
and
all the-
objects and variances
It's
in
all
objects.
the rows and columns because the cards themselves
Yeah.
don't give you points. It's based
Well-
off of if you've got like all the seashells across, then you'll get points. If you've got everything is different across, you'll get less points, like half the points. If you've got all the same color, you'll get like 4 points. If
thought
you've
you
got all
also
different colors, you get 2. No,
Had
only
special
one card.
cards,
There's like 2 of them in the whole bag though. Like there's 2 special
but it's
tiles
like
in the whole bag.
overall. No, there's like a card that you do for like the overall thing. I thought.
I don't think
I'm
so.
gonna have to go back and look at that. I thought
thought
there
it-
was a card that you can do that. You
I thought it was exclusively by rows and columns, and you're either trying to
That's
get
where
like
you're
they're
gonna get the
showing you
majority
here.
of points.
Right, and I know there's one special tile that gives you 1 point, but I think if you're like 1 point is the difference between your game, I mean, that's pretty intense right there alone. There's one special tile that gives
Good.
you 1
What's
point.
your take, Dr. Gloryhoundd?
So I like the art on it. It seems kind of like too simple, I feel like, and I don't want to say like in a bad way. If for being a puzzly game, I feel like I need a little bit more to it to enjoy it because I'm not somebody who typically just plays puzzle games. This seems like a really light game. 20 minutes to me. I feel like myself, I'm getting more and more to the point where I don't have room for these 20-minute games. And I know that sounds stupid because I was like the opposite of how I used to feel, where I used to feel 30 minutes to an hour was like my special sweet spot. But now these like kind of filler games, I'm just like, and maybe that's because we haven't been going to conventions and stuff because these are really great for conventions and stuff like that where you want to just sit down and play something. But I'm like, do I have room for this game? Like, where does this game fit into our overall collection? Is this something I'm gonna be excited about to play? And I'm really surprised it's $40. I figured this was like a $25 game, $30 maybe.
That's 100% what I'm saying. So I went through this, and
So
I love
Court of the Dead that we played on Thursday costs
Yes.
less than this game.
Court of the Dead is $25, and I straight up had game trays and stuff
Yeah.
in it, and some cards. Okay.
Game trays, tarot-sized cards, had like
And
nice
tokens.
Yeah, and tokens, and some wood pieces.
Barbarians, $40, which had 6 sets of dice in it, while
Plus,
also
plus
while
more.
also having boards and cards that you have in there, and then like 6 different sets of screens, and then boards that players are playing off of, and then you have this one here, which is also priced at $40. So, for me, looking at all of this, that was the first thing that I had because scrolling down, I was thinking, oh, okay, this has got to be like a $25 game or something like that, because you're basically pulling a bunch of tiles out of a bag and then placing them down.
So someone said it reminds them of a civilized version of Ex Libris. Ex Libris, that's the library game, correct? We played that one.
Yeah,
That's the one with the different titles.
the one. And then you
I
have
feel
the
like-
cards that you're sitting down.
I feel like that one was intense enough that I had to play it more than once before I 100% like understood what I should be doing. I knew I messed something up when I played it the first time. Now maybe it's because I was playing it at midnight.
You know
but I feel like this is definitely a simplified version. It's a simplified version of something. This is probably like a good, what do they call it? Like a beer and pretzels game where you're just kind of hanging
Yeah,
out,
I
talking
would say that.
more than you're like trying to play an intense game. Like it'd be good to like, you could, if we were streaming this game, we'd be like, so you're playing this, drinking wine, have a Bavarian pretzel or something.
The
like
most interesting part of this game is the journey board and the action selection where you do have to choose.
that part is nice.
Yeah, where, okay, I'm going to take a really strong action this turn, but then I'm going to have to go last next turn. And that part is really cool because the way the gameplay is going to work, in the beginning, everybody might be like, whatever, I'll take whatever actions. But by the end of it, that's going to be like a very strategic place to be. And I think that's where all the strategic portion of this game really comes from.
Here's what I was really worried about that. Since we play a lot of 2-player, I was thinking to myself, oh, well, I would just take the strong action, go last, and you would take the strong action, go last,
and then
I
just
would
go
take the
back
strong
and forth
action.
and back and forth.
But with 2-player, they do have a thing where you actually play as 2 pawns, so you actually can't just do that. Like,
Okay.
you'll take 2 separate turns on there as playing 2-player. So at least they thought ahead of that, because I was thinking to myself, why would you not just take the strongest one every other turn, and then it's just very bland.
So Mepper makes a really good point here. I'm a fan of Dr. Finn games, but I couldn't figure out why I should back the Whatnot cabinet as opposed to waiting for retail. And that was another thing that I had noticed on this campaign was I was like, where are my Kickstarter specials? If I'm backing on Kickstarter,
Yeah.
I need some special content.
So here's another thing too that I think about with pencil first games, right? We've played 1,000 Tori, or is it 100 Tori? 100 Tori.
I like Skull Hollow a lot.
Hold on.
So good. Sorry.
So we played 100 Tori, which was a tile placement game. Very simple as far as tiles, but there was a lot of complexity about setting the tiles down, following the different paths, making the right paths, and then the way the tiles set down, where it was a very puzzly game. So I felt like there was a lot of depth in that one, right? I really had to think about where I wanted to place stuff, and then what sets I wanted to go for off the side. We played that one live, so you guys can check that one out. So that one I felt like had enough depth that I felt like really engaged to it. This one I feel like is one that I could like walk away, come back, and like just not really be a part of it. Like not really feel, where something like a point salad, you've got to kind of be watching what's coming out and stuff like that. I feel like this is like a very light game that if you just want like a really chill, casual like puzzle game, then it might be really great for your group. Or if you've got people that are like kind of casual gamers, I don't feel like, for me as somebody who I have to be wowed by a puzzle game to play it. Otherwise, why am I going to play it? For me personally.
Baskerville Production says, I can appreciate a quick puzzle game, but I agree visual stimulation could improve the draw. I, myself, really, really enjoy puzzle games. And when I went ahead and looked through this, that was the first draw for me. I was like, oh my God, a puzzle game. Oh, I'm going to be so excited about this game. And as I started looking through the campaign, it looks like a good game. Don't get me wrong. This looks like a fantastic looking game that I would play.
Perfect, simple puzzle.
That would be light, a light, simple puzzle. However, when comparing it to the other things that we're looking at this week, everything didn't add up for me in whole.
I can't match it against some of their other campaigns too. Like Skull Hollow, I think was only like $40.
Skull Hollow is $40.
And it came with like a
120
lot of
was
play.
$40.
Yeah, it came with a lot of play. Both of those, I feel like a lot of play. With this one, I don't feel myself being engaged by it. And even just the box art, which I like the art in general, but the box art of having all the purple in the middle and stuff like that, I thought this was a game about like turnips or something. I don't know what. I think
Our
some
viewers,
vegetable
though,
thing.
our viewers are so smart, though. They pretty much hit upon the 2 points that like I was like, what the heck about, on this anyway. So you guys know.
So, I mean, obviously, if you have to ask us, yeah, I would not back this. I don't see this as something, I would play it, but I feel like it's a game I'm going to probably play once, maybe twice, and be like, okay, I'm good. I don't think this is something I have to have in my collection.
Yeah.
Especially for $40.
Probably going to pass on this one because, one, I feel like I may be able to get it for a less price later. I don't know. And I don't see any Kickstarter exclusives that are really drawing me to it to actually back it on Kickstarter. I know it will go to retail.
It's not like you're getting like little wood leaves and bottles that you're putting in there or something.
I'll be able to pick something up there. So I was just a little confused by that. It does look like it would be a very interesting game. I'm really excited about that journey board and figuring out the puzzle portion of that and how to play that throughout the game, along with placing the pieces on your board. So,
well, I mean, obviously, everyone who comes to this is to get our actual opinion, right? So this is our money that we're using for these games. We're not being paid for this.
Yeah,
so
we don't.
Personally, I would not spend $40 on this game. But I am glad that it's successful because I'm glad there's more games out in the market for everybody.
Oh, absolutely. So, yeah, whenever we say we'd back that, like, we are spending our actual dollars for these
so sometimes
games,
it's hard.
everyone.
Even games that we really, really like and want to back, sometimes we just financially cannot back.
We just don't, yeah, because we can't back them at this time.
There's a reason why we both still work a day job.
When you have a lineup of games that you're going through and stuff, we make our decisions based off of our income that we're trying to use for these. So, like, if we don't back this doesn't mean that it's a terrible game or anything like that. It's a fantastic looking game, and if you would like to back it, absolutely do that. But for us, it doesn't fit in either us liking it or our funds, I
get what you're saying. I don't think it looks fantastic, but that's my own personal opinion.
I think it looks interesting because the puzzles.
Oh, see, I think the art looks nice. I really like Beth Sorbell's art, but I don't think the game looks like it would be a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. It just feels like it would be really super casual for me. What's that?
Daniel says, what is a day job? What?
Daniel wouldn't know. He wouldn't know.
Member says, I was interested in the expansion, so that gave me one less reason to back. I will probably get it later. That makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah. I feel like there has to be something else added to this. There must be something that, I hope there's something in here that I'm missing that would really change my mind about
open
how
up
it
later
plays.
Or something.
Something, because I just really feel like I'm missing the appeal to this game.
Okay.
And especially for $40. If I'm going to spend $40, you're getting a ton more out of Barbarians than you get out of this, for sure.
Yeah.
So.
And because they just happen to be paired up like that.
Well, and then even
week.
that, you add an extra $10, you got Merchants of the Dark Road, which even at the base price of $50.
Spoilers.
That's like an amazing. There's a big difference between the amount of gameplay I feel like you're going to get between the two.
Right. And so that was one of my main issues with that particular one. So moving on today, we have Merchants of the Dark Road. This is by Elf Creek Games. It's for 1 to 4 players, and it should last about 60 to 120 minutes, you are going to be a little trader, and you have like a little coach.
Well,
and
not
you're
a
gonna
trader.
Oh.
A trader.
Oh, not a trader.
A trader of goods.
But a trader of goods.
Yeah.
Right.
There's no hidden trader in this game.
There's no hidden
Don't
trader
get
in this
excited
game.
about that. She's like, well, we all going to be traders and attack our own group?
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's just trader.
I fire rockets from my caravan.
You are a purveyor of goods, fine goods, and merchantiles to sell to the people.
Yes.
Would you like some textiles? Here, I have them for sale.
You're also going to be using dice placement in this game, everyone, but you're going to be going through the streets, and you're going to be, it's kind of like a little bit of a pick up and deliver game, while also having some dice placement, because you're using dice to go ahead and run your caravan through the streets, also using special actions on the board.
I swear you just said hairband.
Wow.
Running your hairband through the street. Girls, girls, girls. Sorry. Not Motley Crue.
Oh, Tabletop Backer Party says we have the 4 Tabletop Backer Party shows coming up for this. That's right. You know, Tabletop Backer Party is covering this week specifically. So I know there's people that do interviews and like all sorts of stuff for this on that channel. So if you want to know more about this game, that is also a good place to go after this.
This is one I would definitely like to play. I feel like I know somebody who has this. I don't know if they're going to be, if they'd be willing to part with it to send it to us though.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, because Jimmy, I'm pretty sure Jimmy has this, and I don't know if he'd want to send this to us, because I'm pretty sure he wants to keep it.
To us, that'd be fantastic.
Sometimes the prototypes you get, you just really, really want to keep until the real game comes in, right?
But everybody's going to have their own little player boards where they're trying to organize basically items in their little caravan as well, which I thought was interesting, while also using dice to power their caravans as they're going through. And then they're also going through the city, and they can have crazy stuff happen while you're going through the city. And that was one of my favorite, you know what, what was it, Dead of Winter, when they made that, whenever you're like...
The Crossroads?
Yes, the Crossroads system. Anybody who uses cards to make something different and unique happen on your turn like that, I love that system so much in a game.
So when Luke was asking, like, what's one of your favorite games, definitely Dead of Winter is up there for you.
Because it adds such a uniqueness to the game.
You love that narrative, choose your own adventure style.
It also gives so much theme to the game, because as you're going along, you can get trapped in this board game system of like, all right, we're putting pieces here, we're putting pieces there, but then this like takes you out a little bit and goes, oh yeah, you know what?
You're a person.
Random stuff happens in the world, okay? Sometimes good stuff and bad stuff can randomly happen to you as you're going down the road.
Well, that's the issues I always have with a lot of Euro games, and why I feel like they can be boring at times, is because it's just like, I'm going to push this cube over here, I'm going to push that cube over there, and you know exactly what's going to happen. There's no surprise, there's no randomness, there's no real life into it, right? Because if that's how it worked, I went to work today, I should get paid, and I'd put that money into the bank, and I'd pay for these bills, and, oh no, my roof just blew off, which actually did happen. Our roof did blow off.
It did.
So that real life event that just happened really changed the outlook of everything that's going on, right? And that's how real life is. So I like to have a little bit of real life injected in my games, where there's a little bit of randomness or events or something that can kind of happen, so you don't 100% know what's going to happen. Champions of Midgard does a good job of that, where you're sailing across the sea to fight monsters. Something can happen on that journey that you don't expect. And I like a little bit of that. Not so much that you feel like it's just a random fest, but enough that you're like, I don't 100% know what's going to happen by taking this action.
Terry says, backed all in. I don't blame you, Terry. Absolutely. And you know what, Daniel? I didn't even think about that. Doing a digital play would be fantastic, because I want to play this game right now. Like, I am so excited. And I also love whenever companies, they make these really unique coin styles like this. They still look like coins. You can clearly still tell they're going to be 1, 5s, and 10 pieces, but they add kind of to the world of the game, you know?
Yeah.
It reminds me of the coins from...
Lords of Waterdeep.
Yes, from Lords of Waterdeep. You called it, Dr. Gloryhoundd. You're so good.
Which we don't have the fancy coins for, but we do have the fancy Stonemaier ones for Scythe, and we use them for other games sometimes because they're just so cool.
These coins, like, work in that fantasy, and I love the fact of, like, the one that looks like a little beer stein sort of thing with the lady's head on it and stuff.
I thought that was like a lantern.
Well, it might be a lantern. You know, it probably is a lantern, because it would be the other way, but I love the lady's face on there.
Yeah, okay.
That is 100% something you would see, like, on an actual coin, you know?
Here's the real comparison, right? So this game is $10 more than the Whatnot cabinet, and I can tell you right now, just by looking at it, there's so much in this game that I don't even know yet. I feel like I'm just scratching the surface by looking at how to play it and stuff. Like, I'm like, okay,
Right?
here's the general idea of how the game works. I understand how the general idea of how it works, but there's just so much going on involved. I feel like I'm going to discover this game while playing it.
Because we didn't even get into the market system in
Right,
this
or
game.
like you can take journeys and bring other people with you.
Like, what the heck? We didn't even get into that part.
You can sell goods, and then the people you sell goods to, like the warriors, they will join you.
Yeah.
And like if I go on an expedition or a market thing, you can jump in with me, or you can use these horseshoes to add 1 or take away 1 from your movement, or to use it if you just get unlucky in some type of, I'm assuming in some type of scenario type situation.
This game is, when you look at the surface, you're like, oh, this looks like a really cute game. And then the more you start delving into it, you're like, oh my gosh.
No,
like,
these merchants are not cute. They're trying to survive.
so much stuff.
It's
so
the
much stuff
dark
in
time. It's the dark times. It's not cute. So this is a game that I, as the penny pincher of the family, I guess, I'm like, $50, that's pretty good. You can get in on this. But then I'm starting to think of games like Hall of the Mountain King, where like, without all the stuff, would it feel as good?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, maybe we should do at least the deluxe pledge to get some of the extra bonuses.
Yeah.
And I want to not, because I'm like, oh, I don't need that extra $20 worth of stuff, but I kind of do want all that $20 extra stuff. Like, look at that. That's all just deluxe stuff right there.
Yeah, they're lanterns on there. So Terry says, tempted to back this twice. Not enough people backing it, and it's going to be great. Folks will still want this after. That's true, because that Kickstarter aftermarket is hardcore.
Can be really good sometimes.
Oh my goodness. Pay for your own game right there with that, you know?
Sometimes. Now, not always, but sometimes.
Daniel says follow actions is one of my favorite mechanisms. I love that too, because
yeah, that's a big thing in Tiny Epic games.
it makes you second guess what you're doing, because you're like, oh, I want to do this action, but I don't want everybody
like
else to
in Ragusa,
benefit from it.
like when we were playing Ragusa and you didn't want to play stuff because you didn't want me to get bonus actions off of it. Yeah, no, I agree. That's true.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Robin says $40 for coins is so expensive.
Agreed.
I'm guessing that is 100% because of the irregularity of these coins.
Probably.
So whenever you're making molds and stuff like that, you have to pay extra for the molds if they're irregular shaped, because you can do a coin and then usually have like some stuff in the middle and everything, and they can make like a coin mold and then like carve out stuff, and then voila, like you have your own mold. When you're making a fully brand new complete mold of something that's in an irregular shape, that's like making something absolutely 100% brand new. So I'm wondering if that's part of the portion of why those coins are so expensive. Also, those coins, I believe, they are enamel filled. So they're not like just regular metal pieces.
Just pressed metal.
Right. They're colored. They have enamel filling or they have something filling it so it's colored. So those two reasons, I think, are the reasons why those coins are so expensive.
Now, when I say I want to go deluxe, I'm thinking the deluxe level package here. I don't think I would do the all-in. I don't want to pay $125 for the game.
So T-Brex says, I love that art.
And there's people saying that, how do you feel about previous Elk Creek games? I can't think of one off the top of my head that I played.
There was one that we had covered. What was it? It was like a fishing one. I was like, how did they make fishing so freaking exciting? How did they make this game so exciting sounding?
Oh, Honey Buzz. We backed Honey Buzz.
Honey Buzz. That was a fantastic game.
And I've heard it's nothing but good things about Atlantis Rising.
Right?
Like nothing but good things.
Absolutely. Was Elf Creek? I thought Elf Creek Games did that
No.
fishing one. Maybe that was somebody else I was thinking of.
You're talking about Freshwater Crown or Flatwater.
Dang it. Okay.
Yeah.
Honey Buzz, though, absolutely.
Yeah, we backed Honey Buzz,
yeah,
right?
Atlantis Rising, only heard good things about that game. We have not played that one, though, okay? We'll go back to merchants here.
I will say this game looks the most intriguing out of everything we looked at this week, for sure.
This game is right up our alley of themes, because we like that particular, like, medieval, slightly dark sort of theme.
That's
anyway.
where our two interests collide, right? Because, I like Western and you like space, but we both like medieval.
Look at these
merchants,
blazing
traders.
quartz resin pieces.
Yeah, and I like those stupid horseshoes.
My God, I need these pieces in my life, everyone.
And those little lanterns.
Look at the little upgraded wagon meeples.
This always makes me want to do something else with these pieces. I never do, but I'm always like, oh, I have these extra cool deluxe pieces. Like, what could I do with these? Something. I need to do something.
Is Steampunk Rally Fusion really shipping in August? I hope so.
I didn't even know it was shipping that soon. That might be. Roxley does a really good job about having everything planned out so they're able to ship right away. That'd be crazy if we got that before we got Dice Throne Adventures.
Roxley usually has all their art and everything made up front with all that. And just, they usually have, and good game companies will do that. They'll have everything pretty much finished, they're just waiting to send it. So basically, once the Kickstarter ends, they go, okay, we have X amount of orders, we're sending this in. So really fantastic companies will do that and just get that ball rolling right
Someone's
away.
saying Freshwater Crown. That's the game. Is by the same designer, but different company.
Okay, that's what I was thinking of.
That would make
That's what I
sense.
was thinking of.
Yeah, and this does have that rondelle system that has been really, like, I don't know, for whatever reason, that's really been firing off for me. I know it's not new, but it feels new and fresh to me. I've really been enjoying the rondelle. We do that in Tiny Epic and stuff.
That with the rondelle system, they've really been able to make really cool stuff happen with that system recently, where they're really exercising everything that's happening in that rondelle space there and making it like double count. You know what I'm saying? Like make your, not just, oh, okay, I'm going to skip over here and then, you know, that's my action or anything. Like they're really, I think it's getting better because of the new mechanics coming into it, if that makes sense. Like the newer mechanics nowadays. The new mechanics nowadays.
Yeah, see, everyone's talking too about Dice Throne Adventures, and that'll be
oh my
sweet.
god!
I liked the prototype to Dice Throne Adventures so much. I haven't even tossed that out yet, which you're supposed to. I will eventually once I get the other one.
Yeah, the prototypes games we got to throw them away because you're not supposed to put those on the market. You don't do anything with those.
I guess it's a whole other topic if you guys want to talk about at the fireside chat. We can talk about
fireside chat questions and stuff right there.
But yeah, I'm
All
super excited. This one kind of feels to me like it's going to kind of fall into that Hall of the Mountain King where like the game is going to be good and then all the extra components will make it even better and I'm just going to be like in love with playing it, right? Does that make sense? Where you're just like super excited to play this game, which is honestly something I wish I could get this right now because I could use some game to fall in love with currently.
Ooh, Terry says the wagon meeples are now going to be screen printed too.
Oh yeah, there's some good, I bet you there's some really good upgrades on this one. I wanted to say 50 because I try really hard to just be like, okay, if I have to write this money today, this check today, 50 sounds good, right? But then the extra upgrades, I think it's definitely worth going for the deluxe package. Even though some people did say you can buy the deluxe package at retail, which is nice. But I still find whenever they do stuff like that, when companies do the deluxe packages at retail, they're still hard to find because they don't produce as many of them and not all stores carry them and you might have to buy them from the company directly and have them shipped.
Those coins are so gorgeous. Those coins are so gorgeous,
that's like
Daniel.
That's like 10 burritos at least.
Daniel.
You are in a lot of burrito realm.
Oh, so many burritos on this campaign. Like,
it's not the most burritos we've spent, but it is a hefty amount of burritos.
Normally I try to pass on the coins because we have a lot of games and stuff, but these coins are just uniquely gorgeous. And
no, you're not thinking about the coins too, are you?
I really love the coins. So those coins.
See, I'm okay. I'm okay on the coins, but I want all the other components. I feel like the coins always do add a nice touch.
They do, but these ones are so different.
They are.
They are so different and so gorgeous. They're so gorgeous, Dr. Gloryhoundd, like you.
Different and gorgeous. Yeah, like I said, I'm in for the 75 on this one for sure, the deluxe package. I don't know if I'll do any of the add-ons. Those are things that I might pick up like later on if I end up playing the game a lot. Because I'm a firm believer of a lot of these games, I got to make sure that it's going to hit my table enough to be worth upgrading. So like, Side hit my table so much that I was just like, okay, I got to get these coins.
Yeah, we went back and got
and
some
I wanted to add,
it.
and I still want to add extra stuff to it, but I'm a firm believer of sometimes like $40 for coins versus $40 for a whole nother game. I tend to lean towards a whole nother game. There's some upgrades I can't live without, but sometimes stuff like coins I can live without.
Daniel says at least 10 to 11 burritos. You know what? We're just going to have to cut out burritos for a month.
I actually kind of want a burrito right now.
Fadel says, I really like it, and it's mechanically themed awesomely, too.
Yeah, the art, the mechanics, everything seems to work really well within this game space. I really like that it just seems like it's a really complete package.
I think they were talking about the fishing game one, though. So, let's see here.
Well, also that one, too, I guess.
Honey Buzz has some really cute wooden coins as well. Yes, Elk Creek Games is doing a fantastic job of making
We just need to get some of them on our table.
Upgrades look super, super amazing. Like, they're doing a really fantastic job with that in their games. Let's see here. Little wooden leaves. Yes. Okay. So.
Which is what I like about like Skybound games and Roxley games is that their upgraded components always look so nice. Mm-hmm. It really makes you feel like you're more of part of that world.
As I'm looking at the coins too, I don't know if they can't be enamel filled the way I'm looking at, but they have to have like some sort of colored metal or something on them because they're like, they're so freaking hot. Those coins are so hot, everyone.
Like they're stolen?
Well, no, but they're freaking awesome looking, okay?
Maybe we can make a deal with him. You can get a tattoo of Elk Creek Games on your
Just
arm.
Elf Creek Games right here.
And then they'll send
What
you a
does
copy of the
everybody
coins.
think? Elf Creek Games right here, and then I get some coins, some sweet coins.
That's gotta be a new thing where you just start getting tattooed for game components.
How about we just tattoo you for game components? I'm okay with that.
I
I'd rather not.
already have all these other tattoos. Look at them. It's just all over. I'm already freckled. I don't need tattoos too. Unless I guess if it was like a trout, you could put like a trout on me and it would match.
All right, Dr. Gloryhoundd.
Yes.
Which level are you going to back this at? I'm not even going to ask you if you're going to back it.
Deluxe. Deluxe.
Deluxe. I'm sorry, did you say deluxe? Like that? Tattoo for games are worth it, says
Sometimes.
T-Brick. That kind of double color on metal is pretty expensive. That's why you generally see monocolor coins, says Robin. Absolutely. I'm going to go back and let's go back and look at the up-close coin pictures here. Let's go back and look at these coins because I want them real bad.
Pretty
And Dr.
sure you
Gloryhoundd is
passed
trying
them.
to talk me out of it. All right.
Pretty sure you passed.
Let's look at this. Look at this. You have beautiful carved faces.
These are the tokens, I think.
You have, you know what? This is not even two colors.
You're
These
looking
are
at the tokens.
These are tricolors.
You're
They're
also
going to have
looking at the
tricolors on
tokens.
them, right? Okay, okay, fine. Where are the up close of the actual metal coins? I need the metal coins. Where are
Oh my
they?
God, you're scrolling so much. They were just up there. You just
Where?
passed them.
Where? Right here.
Right there.
Right there. Okay. Tricolor coins. Does that make you feel better? I don't feel like you can see as much of the detail of everything on
what?
here.
What?
Tricolor coins.
What? What?
Tricolor coins.
How good is Elf Creek Games at delivering on time? That was a good question. When was Honey Buzz supposed to be delivered?
All right, let's go take
I
a
will
look.
be honest, we lose track of them because we kind of have a lot in the pipe, if you will.
Do not want to see my email that all my Kickstarter things come to, everyone. It's hundreds of emails a day. It's a lot of emails, okay?
There's a lot.
And so I don't get to look at all the updates all the time, all right? But let's take a quick look for everybody since everybody's interested. This one here was going to be July of 2020. So
So they
next
still got
month,
time. They still got
next
time.
month, they still got some time. Let's take a look at their updates and see what they're doing. Oh my gosh, I got to be logged in for this. So let's see here, 48 hours. So it looks like they're getting ready here to send out. It seems like they're just about on time here because they're like pre-production copy in May and stuff. It looks like if they're not going to be super, like if they are late because of everything that's been going on, I mean, it seems like they planned a little bit for being late in the first place, which is always a good sign.
That's true. You can't discount the fact that a lot of stuff has slowed down during all of this.
Oh yeah, if you're waiting for your game right now, like you're just going to be waiting for your game. Everybody's stopped, you know, and this year is just going to be really finicky as it is because you're going to have places
Things will be late.
that are opening and closing and closing and opening and stuff. Like things, yeah. This year, although we have a bunch of stuff lined up to receive this year, I'm not like double checking a whole lot on anything because everybody's delayed.
Yeah,
Everybody's
like
delayed.
last night, we actually, like I said, we got in 3 games, and it was
Yeah.
a surprise. I wasn't expecting them. My dog alerted me, thusly.
Oh yeah.
And I went out there and I was like, hey, and he's like, here you go, and gave me like a couple packages. I was like, sweet.
So, yeah, Tabletop Backer Party. Daniel says, oh, wait, we're going to be doing a giveaway for this in Tabletop
yeah,
Backer
that's
Party.
right.
Ooh, so make sure to head over to their Facebook page after this.
And me saying they're running about a
And-
month behind, which is actually not bad.
Okay. No, that's not bad at all because that was like, this came along before everything with the coronavirus.
Right, so who
and
knows
people-
where they were at in the middle of it.
They probably would have been right on time if all of this other stuff may not have been going on. So, yeah. And even then, somebody running a month behind or something like that is
Not really
minimal.
that much in
It's
Kickstarter.
really minimal, honestly, in Kickstarter.
The stuff definitely happens.
I usually give or take like 2 to 3 months on any Kickstarter, and especially with newer companies, just because newer companies don't have the process set in stone on how everything is, and sometimes they're working with new relationships in other countries that they're getting this produced out of and everything.
And even established countries,
And-
sometimes established companies can sometimes get in like a proof of something and then be like, this isn't what we were thinking, and they got to send it over and then kind of restart.
And retool a whole bunch of
Yeah,
stuff.
and
So
that happens.
accidents happen. I think the biggest thing is communication is key. If you see a Kickstarter and they're just terrible in their communication,
And they're behind, that's a little bit more worrying.
yes, that's probably definitely a red flag sort of thing, you know? If they are communicating with everybody every month and going, hey, you know, we know that we're behind a few months and everything, but this is what we're doing. Here's pictures, which is a big thing. Here's pictures of what we have going on and stuff. I guess maybe I'm very forgiving because I've been working with Kickstarters for so long that I know that, and especially from before, like 90% of Kickstarters were going to be late.
True.
Now I think companies are far better than they used to be, honestly, everyone, because I feel like in the beginning, it was a crapshoot on those dates there. It was like, sure, it's going to be in like another 6 months because everything was like newer, you know?
Do you like my mustache?
I do. It's very cute. It's very cute on you. Well, thank you for everybody that joined us today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe to our content. We are going to be playing Barbarian, Tales of Barbaria later.
Correct.
On Thursday next week. We also have, what else do we have coming up?
So we have the fireside chat, like I said, at 6 p.m. So in a couple hours, like what, 5 hours from now? Well, we're just going to kind of chit-chat about games, be more open forum style. We have a game this Sunday. We are waiting to see if a Kickstarter is coming in. So the one thing about doing things live, since we can't pre-record it, or since we don't pre-record it because we choose to be live,
Right.
It's hard with planning events because if this game comes in the next couple hours, we'll be playing it Sunday.
Yeah.
If I don't get it today, we're going to have to scrap it and do one of the other games that we thought instead.
So it's a mystery game on Sunday, everyone, but we
Sunday
will be here.
at 2.
Okay? And what else? We have some other great games coming up this month.
Right, so we've got Barbarians, we've got Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion, and that's
so
going to be on a
excited.
Sunday. We have The Night, was it The
excited.
Night Place?
Yes, but that one's actually getting moved until next month. So.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Oh, okay.
But
She didn't tell me.
I'm also excited. We have some other games planned for you as well. So
Yeah, we've got games going. Basically, every Thursday and every Sunday we're playing games. And
That's
then
right.
Friday is Kickstarter and something else. We have also talked about maybe potentially mixing in some more like video game or app-based games on our Friday nights too.
That's right. So, like, if you guys are interested in playing, like, I don't know, Scythe with us online or something like that, like you have the digital version of Scythe on your computer at home, that may be a possibility of playing with us. So that is something that we're going to be talking about on our fireside chat where we talk to you guys and you talk to us and let us know what's going on in your lives, and we talk about the future of our show and where we're going. So it's going to be exciting. Other than that, let's see here. Ella and Something Shiny just launched today and funded in 1 hour. Elia. So let's see here. Gloom. I'm a Gloomhaven sucker, says Petter.
Oh, we also got an update from the team. It was Red Jin doing Rune Lords when they're going to relaunch. We got to play it on Tabletopia. And
I was going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that during the fireside chat because I'm like insane about that game right now. Oh my goodness.
Rune Lords, the board game.
I love it when game companies go back to the drawing board and then they make some amazing content afterward because of maybe a Kickstarter that did not fund. Like, that is so not only satisfying for people who are like backing Kickstarter all the time to see somebody come back and do it even better, but I am so freaking excited about
They're not
this
just
game.
relaunching it. There's definitely companies that would just relaunch it every month until it hopefully goes. But no, there's going to be some fundamental changes, which will be good.
I'm so excited about this, and I hope to share that excitement with all of you.
Maximum excitement.
I think that is about it. So we will go ahead and talk to you later, and make sure to head on over to Tabletop Backer Party and try to earn yourselves a copy of that Merchants of the Dark Road. Other than that, we will talk to all of you later. Thank you. Bye.
Hype, 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 hype,
Hype, hype, hype, hype, hype, hype.